Hello students, a very good evening and welcome back to Daily Current Affairs of 9th of July. So these are the four important articles which we shall be discussing today. First is about the right to be forgotten. This article is from The Hindu. Next article is related to Hummus Trail. So we shall be discussing that whether this is any exact location on the map or whether this is any informal wording. Next article is related to Astra missiles, an important missile for India. And finally, the successful launch of Pinaka long range guided rocket system, and finally a practice version. Okay, so here comes the first topic, and the topic is what is right to be forgotten. So we shall be discussing. So this is not like right to be forgotten is in the news for the first time. But why we will be discussing now? Because many a times Supreme Court as well as many high courts are focusing more on the right to be forgotten, that people must accept right to be forgotten as an important part of Article 21 of the Constitution. That's why this right to be forgotten again came in the news. So first of all, let's discuss that what is the basic meaning of right to be forgotten. So exercising the right to be forgotten, any individual can request the public authorities to either remove their personal information or to de-index their personal information or to restrict the disclosure to their information. So each and every word have different kind of meaning. Removal means complete removal from the public domain. De-indexing has different meaning. De-indexing of information means consider, for example, a person A was once accused of a crime. Now after seeing all the evidences and all, finally after 1 year or 2 years, this person A is now acquitted of that crime. Now he has been proven innocent. But even after being proven innocent, if you type the name of person A on Google on the search engine, then you will get all the cases, all the news related to person A when he was accused of that crime. So here person A can demand to the public authorities that I have the right to be forgotten and you must de-index my information. So de-index means it's not like all the news related to a person A will be removed from the Google history. Just the thing is that thing will not be easily searchable on the Google. That's it. So maybe if anything you are getting on page 1 of the Google, so after de-indexing the information, that information would go to page 4 or 5. So no person would be searching till page 4 or 5, right? Usually we restrict to ourselves on the first page of Google. That is the meaning of de-indexing. Or finally, or person can ask that if any information is already in the public domain, you must restrict the public access to that information. So this is the meaning of right to be forgotten. Now let's discuss constitutional basis of right to be forgotten. So as I have already discussed, that right to be forgotten is an important part of Article 21 of the Constitution. Article 21 means right to life as well as personal liberty. So actually from this Justice Puttaswamy judgment, Justice Puttaswamy versus Union of India judgment, it has already been established that right to privacy is an important fundamental right under Article 21 of the Constitution. So you can consider that this right to be forgotten as an important subset of right to privacy. So you can consider that right to privacy is a umbrella right, and under right to privacy what will come? Right to be forgotten. And both these rights are important part of Article 21 of the Constitution. Now next thing, let's quickly discuss briefly the difference between right to be forgotten and right to privacy. So if we talk about right to privacy means people can ask public authorities to restrict the disclosure of the public information. If we talk about the right to be forgotten, so right to be forgotten can be considered a specific part of right to be privacy, because in right to be forgotten, either you can ask remove that information or you can ask that restrict the public exposure. Under right to privacy, any other thing also you can ask related to the information which is being disclosed. Next thing, let's discuss about the legal position of right to privacy in India. So please note that at present, India does not have a dedicated law related to right to be forgotten. At present, India does not have any dedicated law. But here, many a times, courts have recognized in several cases that this is linked to right to privacy, and right to privacy is linked to Article 21 of the Constitution. But indirectly, we can say that right to privacy is related to the Digital Personal Data Protection Act of 2023, but nowhere it specifically mentions about right to be forgotten. So you have to remember that at present in India, we don't have any dedicated law related to right to be forgotten. Next, if we talk about the global context, so this you must remember, because this is a very famous regulation, that is General Data Protection Regulation of European Union. So this is very important, that India does not have a dedicated law, but this GDPR recognizes the right to erasure under Article 17, and right to erasure is directly related to right to be forgotten. So this is very, very important, that India does not have, but European Union have this kind of law. Next article is related to Hummus Trail. So here, first of all, you must understand the context. So what the news says? News says rights organizations files war crimes complaint with India against Israeli soldiers spotted along the Hummus Trail. So to understand what is Hummus Trail, first of all, let's understand some context. See, as you already know, if you talk about Israel, so in Israel, it is mandatory for everyone to serve in the armed forces for few years. Now, after serving in the armed forces, now it became a tradition in Israel that after serving for few years in the armed forces, now people will be going for relaxed vacations for few months or a year, and after that they would be starting some new job or other thing. So now it has become a tradition in Israel that after serving in armed forces, we would be going for relaxed vacations for some time. Now, the regions or the routes which are used by Israelis to go for these vacations, these routes are known as Hummus trails. So basically, Hummus trails is a backpack route. Backpack route means you are not taking any heavy luggage or 2 or 3 bags. You just pack everything in a backpack and you just go in a free manner, either through bus, trains, anything. So these Israelis, after serving in the armed forces, they just go for the relaxed vacations, and the routes which they use, those routes are known as Hummus trails. Why the name Hummus is given? Basically, hummus is a very famous dish in West Asia. That's why these routes which are used by Israelis to go for the vacations, they are known as Hummus trails. And one of the routes in the Hummus trails is India also. So basically, important thing about India is that India is cheap compared to other countries. Second thing is, a lot of Hebrew cafes, a lot of Israeli cafes, restaurants, hostels can be seen in India. That's why India is also important destination for Israelis. Now, coming to the second story. Second story is, as you already know, in October 2023, what happened? Hamas have attacked Israel. And as a sign of retaliation, Israel attacked back on Hamas. So because of all this war, a lot of destruction have been happened. Many lives were lost, a lot of infrastructure was damaged. Since then, lot of lives, many people are still losing their lives. Now, in that time, various Israeli soldiers, it was alleged that many Israeli soldiers were involved in the war crimes. See, it is not bad to fight for your country. If Hamas have attacked on Israel, so this is very obvious that the Israeli military force will retaliate back. But many Israeli soldiers were involved in the war crimes. For example, you are taking hostage, or you are inflicting the atrocities on the prisoners. So this is war crime. You cannot do that. So many international organizations have taken the note of many Israeli soldiers. Note like they would go on the social media sites and they would take the photo or they would take the videos that this was that Israeli soldier which was involved in the war crimes. So this is the second story. Now I would combine these two things. Now what happened, that one of the Israeli soldier who was involved in the Hamas war and now he is retired from the armed forces, that Israeli soldier have went for the relaxed vacations through Hummus trails to India. So now when that person was in India, so various international organizations have recognized that person, that this was the soldier who was involved in the war crimes, and now that soldier was spotted in India. So that's why those organizations requested Indian government to arrest that person. So this was the overall story. Yeah, so Hummus trails I already discussed. Now the point here is, but India did not arrest that person. Why India did not arrest? Because there is nowhere written that if any person is accused of war crime, then the host country must arrest that person. Nowhere it is written. Any country can only arrest any foreign tourist only when its domestic law allows it, or there is a legal complaint against that person, because that person is only accused now. So India cannot arrest that person, and if the court has some jurisdiction related to that matter. That's why India did not arrest that person, and I think that person has already left India also. So this was the overall story. Now, next coming to the India's Astras missile. So here this is a very important development for India, because Indonesia became first country which became the buyer of Astra missile of India. So Astra missile is indigenous missile of India, and Indonesia became the first country to buy it. So quickly let's discuss some of the features of Astra missile. So Astra is India's indigenously developed beyond visual range air-to-air missile. So please remember, first thing is Astra is indigenously developed, and second thing is this is beyond visual range air-to-air missile. So air-to-air missile you understand, right? Moving from air to air. Beyond visual range means, for example, this is the fighter plane, and in this fighter plane the pilot is sitting. So pilot could see only till the specific distance, and when the missile and when the fighter plane or when the fighter plane reaches at a distance at which the pilot cannot see, that would be beyond the visual range. So Astra missile can be fired beyond the visual range also. So when the pilot cannot see the fighter plane with his naked eyes, then also the pilot can fire that Astra missile. So next thing is, who developed it? It was developed by DRDO and it was manufactured by Bharat Dynamics Limited. Now quickly let's discuss some other features of Astra missile. So first thing is, this is beyond visual range. That means even if you are not seeing, then also you can fire this missile. Second thing is, it is guided by three kind of technologies. First is inertial navigation system. Second is two-way data link, and third is active radar homing. So quickly let's understand how it is being guided. So in the initial phase, for example, in the initial phase, our fighter plane have just launched the missile. So in that phase, how the missile would be knowing that where we have the enemy fighter plane? So for that, the missile, our fighter plane would be using inertial navigation system. So inertial navigation system is a kind of GPS which we use in our phones, just that navigation system would not be based on satellites. So this navigation system would be using other kind of devices, for example, gyroscope or some computers, etc. So now based on this inertial navigation system, the missile would be knowing that where I have to go. Now comes second phase, that is mid-course phase. So as you know that the fighter planes or missiles would not be going in the straight direction, right? It would be moving up and down, it would be changing the directions. So it becomes difficult for us to target that missile or to target the fighter plane. So for that, what we will be doing, we will be establishing a two-way data link. Two-way data link means, for example, this is our fighter plane and this is our Astra missile. So now this fighter plane, using its radar, this fighter plane will find out that where actually the enemy fighter plane is, and this fighter plane would be continuously sending the signals to the Astra missile that this has moved up or this has moved down or this has changed the direction. So you go in that way. So here two-way data link will be established, and there will be a connection between Astra missile and our fighter jet. Now comes to the terminal phase. Terminal phase, when our missile have reached very near to the target. So here what will happen? It uses active radar horning. Active radar horning means when our Astra missile will reach very near to the target, then our Astra missile will activate its radar. Do you understand? Here we have radar system in our fighter jet also, and we have our radar system in Astra missile also. So when Astra missile would be reaching very near to the target, then we can activate then that missile can also activate its radar system. Now you can ask the question, if the missile already have the radar system, we could activate in the initial phase only, then there is no need to communicate between the our plane as well as the missile. But the problem is, if you activate the radar of Astra missile in the initial phase only, it would be needing a lot of electricity, it would be generating a lot of heat, and in that way the enemy fighter plane would be knowing that they are going to launch the missile, so they can maneuver in that way. So that's why we are following the three phases. Initially inertial navigation phase, next two-way data link, and finally the active radar horning. Next, if we discuss, so what is the kind of propulsion or fuel? So it uses solid fuel rocket motor, and the speed is the more than 4 Mach 4. That means it will be the hypersonic missile. And if we talk about its range, so maximum its range can reach to 110 kilometers. Now let's discuss about the aircrafts with which this kind of missile is compatible. So it is compatible with Su-30 MKI, next we have Tejas, next we have MiG-29. These are for India. So Indonesia already have the Su-30 fighters. So this Astra missile would be compatible with Su-30 also. Now, next is about the Pinaka long range guided rocket. So why was it in news? Recently, DRDO have successfully tested the Pinaka long range guided rocket from the Chandipur, Orissa. So see, first of all, let's discuss what is Pinaka. So about Astra, as we discussed, it was indigenously developed. Pinaka is also indigenously developed, but Pinaka is not a missile. Pinaka is a rocket launcher. So it looks like this, that this is a launcher, and here we have many rockets. So from one vehicle only you can launch a lot of rockets. Now who developed it? It was developed by DRDO, used by Indian Army. And objective we already discussed that at one point of time, from one vehicle we can launch a lot of rockets. Now what is new here? Because Pinaka rocket launcher was earlier also in news. What is new here? See, earlier, if this is your rocket launcher, you have a lot of rockets, right? So earlier, if we were launching the rocket from this Pinaka rocket launcher system, these missiles were unguided. Sorry, these rockets were unguided. That means you just leave the rocket and that rocket would be following a parabolic path. So you cannot predict that whether it is targeting the enemy, whether it is hitting the enemy target or not. Now, what is new here? This version of Pinaka rocket launcher system will be launching the guided rockets. So now, instead of following a parabolic path, when the rocket is in the air, eventually it would be changing its position because it would be guided. So it would be fitted with some kind of systems so that it does not follow only the parabolic path. In its path, the rocket would be guided that where to hit the enemy target, so that precision can be ensured. Yes, a practice question for you. Consider the following statements regarding right to be forgotten. First is, it is derived from the right to privacy under Article 21. Second, it necessarily requires permanent deletion of online content. And third is, courts often balance it against the right to freedom of speech and expression. So please try to give answer in the comment section. So that's all from my side for today. Thank you and have a nice day.